Okay, welcome to my YouTube video for Sanctum with expansion content. I'll review kind of what was added and how to play with it. So I won't review the base rules game. You can find that on another video, I'm sure. I'm just going to go over the new content. First, I'm going to go over how to play if you're playing just uh, 2 to 4 players competitively, and then after I review that, I'll review how to play with the co-op content. Okay, when you're playing normally, you won't need the co-op bag, so you can just either set it aside or delete it. Everything else you will use. So the new class here is the fighter. Um, he's a more defensive character. Doesn't have too many offensive abilities. He only has one. Everything else is probably more focused on defense. Also, a new class is the paladin. Paladin is more of a Swiss Army knife kind of character, thanks to her ability here, Divine Crusade. So this ability unlocks at the very beginning of the game. So you just unlock that and you can put that here. Basically, what it allows you to do is every time that you rest, you can gain a paladin, a blessing from this paladin blessing bag here. Um, and they are some unique blessings here that you won't find in a normal bag. Um, So that's unique to her as well. And here's just a discard bag where you can put her blessings in. Um, Also, the paladin and the fighter, if you do want to play with them and you want their scripts to work, just make sure that you're orange and teal respectively. Okay. Um, Also, moving on, reviewed the new items that were added. So you have a yellow dice potion, a life potion, and a rejuvenation potion. So the yellow dice potion allows you to roll 1 extra dice in combat. So it is a one-time use. As you can see, if you hover over these, a little tooltip will pop up. If you don't remember the rules or how to use them. You discard 2 items, um, and you can gain this potion. Again, you can only carry 1 of these potions. Life potion, or let's review rejuvenation potion first. So rejuvenation potion acts like a red and blue potion combined. That's basically what it is. Restores 1 stamina focus, and to combine it, uh, you use 1 red and 1 blue potion and a blessing when you're resting, and you can combine those 2 together. The life potion, you get 1 rejuvenation potion and a red and blue potion, um, and you can craft this potion. Well, what it does is restores 1 life, and you can only craft it um, when you're resting. So that's the new potions up here. As you can see, there's a loot chest up here. I'll review that a little bit later. Okay, so there's the new items. I do want to make a note here. We don't play with the achievement board any longer. If you want to, you can bust it out and play with the achievement board, but there's a new way to gain blessings in this expansion. So if you want to play solo or something, the board's there for you if you want to play with it. Okay, so uh, another thing that was added to this is the elite monster decks. So when you're playing, so let's just assume you're playing with 4 players. Um, what you do is you take these elite markers and you'd place them up here. So again, just refer to the rules that are posted in Steam, or you can go to the notebook and review them here as well. Just to take note if you're playing with 2, 3, or 4 players where to place these. But in 4 players, you would place this up here. So as you're playing, so let's say you're up here, um, and if you're the first person to come up here, you do have to stop at this spot. And once you stop up here, just take top card of the elite deck here. Make sure you take the first one, not the level 2, when you're first coming up. And as you can see, these monsters have some text on them. You just follow the text. And when you do defeat them, this one in particular gives you 1 wild EXP. And when you defeat them, you gain 1 blessing. So the paladin actually would gain the best blessing from the blessing bag. Everyone else just draw a blessing from the blessing bag up here. So later in the act, you'll also run into these level 2 elite monsters, and they function the same way. When you run into them, have some special text. These instead give you 2 wild EXP. Wild EXP just means any color you want, you can move that up. And same as the original rules. And these level 2 monsters will give you 2 blessings when defeated. So you just grab 2 blessings depending what class you are. Okay. Okay, so once you're here at Act 5, function is the same way. This one does have a script, so you just push this button here, it'll flip out these cards. Same rules as normal. Pick one, add it to your board. Let's just say I was at this Act 5. Chunk those. So now you're going to be fighting both of these at the same time. So again, make sure you follow the rules of both of them. And then, say you're in Act 5, you defeat them both. You would get 3 wild EXP in total and 3 blessings in total. And also, once you defeat them, again this is in Act 5, you're going to come up to this loot chest here. Like it says, after defeating Imperial Elites in Act 5, draw 3 cards, choose one to keep, and put the rest back. So, you'll draw 3. Pick one, whatever you like. Say I like that one, I'll keep that one. And you put the rest back. I do want to make a note, this card here, when you put stamina or focus on it, you can add a yellow dice. It's kind of functions like this for the fight. So, let's say I chose that, kept that, put that on my board as normal, and you put the rest back. You can shuffle it up, put it back, or you can keep it out either way. Other players will probably use it. Okay, so that's Act 5. So when you finally get to Act 6, I like to just have this guy here more thematic. So you're going to follow the normal rules as usual when setting up the Demon Lord stuff here on your battle board. Let me set this up real quick. Okay. I believe it looks something like this. So you set it up as normal. 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe it's 5 each, the original rules. Something like this, right? Just refer to the original rules on how to set that up. I want to say it looks something like this. But on the last card here, depending on what difficulty that you picked, you're going to use these Elite Fury cards here. So the way that these work, so you're going to replace the last Fury card. So originally, like a Fury card would be here, and then you have like a Demon Lord card here. So instead of this last one, you're going to use this deck here. So you just put that there. So depending on the difficulty that you're playing, so let's say this was normal, right? So this is hard, nightmare, and inferno. So let's say you're playing on inferno. So you have all these cards to go through. So it functions as normal. You beat this card, you keep going, beat this card, you keep going, so on and so on. Until, you know, you either make it or you lose. Okay. So that's pretty much how you play with the expansion content. Let's double check I didn't miss anything for the normal game. Okay, so let's just go ahead and review the co-op stuff here. Okay, so let's say I'm playing with the co-op rules now. So you got 2 to 4 buddies you're playing with. Okay, so you won't be using these starting bonus cards, so delete if playing co-op. You won't be playing with this, so you can delete that. Everything else I believe you play with. Okay, so now you're going to play with the co-op bag here. So you can just take it out, just depending how you're playing with. So these cards are special co-op abilities. So these are going to replace so every character has like this grayish black extra dice ability. So you're going to replace that, depending on what character you're playing, with the co-op ability. So let's say I'm playing with the paladin. So you don't want to delete this, you're actually going to need that. This dice thing, you can delete that. You can delete this ability here. So you just put that there, and put these back. So these abilities have the same gem cost, so yeah, you can just put them back. All these have special texts. Just read the rules and just play as normal when you unlock them. Okay, so let's keep looking at the bag. Okay, so this is a shield token. This is for this character here, for his co-op ability. So basically his co-op ability is you give this shield token to another player and he can block for them. Okay, so this is the co-op Fury deck. I will go over that here in a bit. So depending on what difficulty you're playing on, you'll have a normal or hard bag and a nightmare and inferno bag. Okay. So let's go over the co-op challenge deck here. So this is going to be done before the initial setup here. Okay, so let's go over how to set this up. So what you're going to do is place the top card of the Fury deck, which is this deck here, the co-op Fury deck, face down. Let's just put it here. And then you're going to take the top card of the normal Fury deck and place it on top of this card here. And that's just a graphical glitch. So again, you're going to repeat this process until the decks run out here. Okay, make sure I do that correctly. So it's going to take a little minute here. Okay. So after you have that set up, depending on what difficulty everyone wants to play at, you're going to set aside some cards. So it's 2 per difficulty. So if you're playing on normal, you won't remove any cards. If you're playing on hard, you'll remove the top 2. If you're playing on Nightmare, you'll remove an additional 2. And if you're playing on Infernal, you'll remove an additional 2. Now, when you remove those, you'll set aside these elite cards here. And then the extra, you can just put it back. So now you should have 3 in total if you're playing in Inferno mode. And you can set them up here. Or you can set them down here. It doesn't really matter where you put these cards. You just have to take a note where they're at. So the big change is as you're playing, whenever you take a rest action, any player takes a rest action, you're going to remove the top card of this challenge deck. So let's say I'm the paladin and I'm playing. I'm up here and I want to take a rest. So what you'll do, take the top card. If it's just a normal card, put it back on the deck. So that's the paladin rested. So let's say the outlaw's up here and he takes a rest. So you're going to take this top card and add it here. And then so on and so forth. Every time anybody takes a rest action, you just keep putting cards back here. Okay, and then gameplay will function as normal. You can, while at rest, trade cards, items with other people. You can also trade potions if you wish to other people. Alright, so the change comes from normal play. When you finally do reach Act 5, you'll do the same thing as normal. You'll come up, fight these monsters. After you defeat them, get your loot card. The only change from the normal game in Act 5 is you'll play as usual with the phases, breaching the walls. So just read the instructions on the breaching the walls phase, and the Demon Lord appears step. So the call to arms happens as normal, but you won't add new demon cards. So let me just give an example of what that looks like. So, so let's say it's only 2 players, right? Now let's just say it's these 2 guys, right? And they play, they kill, they get their loot card, So whenever the Slayer defeats their card, they're going to come up here. And then when the Huntress finally defeats their card, they're going to come up here. The Demon Lord will get 2 cards up here as usual. So there's no really rush like there is in the normal game. There'll only be 2 demon cards here. If somebody takes a long time, it won't add normal cards like in the normal game. Okay, so after everybody defeats their things, they got 2 cards here. You go to Act 6. Sorry, I'm just trying to move this stuff here. Okay. So after everybody takes their rest, um, then the Demon Lord answers. I don't remember in the rules, but these 2 cards will trigger, same as normal in a normal game. I believe that happens before settling up the board, but I'm not entirely sure. So, um, so you're gonna, everyone's gonna build their board kind of like the normal game, but it's gonna be with less cards. I find it's easier, rather than putting it um, on everyone's board as normal. You can just delete these things here. I think normally there would be more Fury cards here. So I'm just gonna build up the board. So let's just say it was 2 players and they just ended up with 6 of these. That's just 7. And I'm just doing this for example's sake here. There just need to be more of these. Okay. Okay. So you're gonna deal 3, let's say it was only 2 players. So 3 demon and 3 fury cards here. Okay. Okay, so now all the co-op fury cards that you guys got, just gonna go up here. Doesn't matter which order. It'll look like something like that. Okay, also, so depending on what difficulty you guys played in, so these guys pick Nightmare. So you'll take one of these, so I think this is a deck of 4. Yeah, you just take one, doesn't matter which one. You'll place that up here. And as you can see, the Inferno, here's how normal looks. So normal has less dice, has 6 dice to defeat him. He does 2 damage. This guy has 3 damage, and was that 12, if I can math correctly? So Inferno is going to be a little bit harder to defeat. Okay, so this is how the setup's going to look. So again, everyone kind of fights this as they would in a normal game. You know, you're rolling your dice, you're trying to get up. So whenever you're taking damage, so let's just say again, I was just down here and I made it down here. So when you're calculating the damage from the Demon Lord, you would take 2, 4, what was that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. So you do include this top card up here when you're calculating damage on your way up. But anyway, so let's say our players made it up here, um, and they finally made it up to these elite cards. So when you fight them, you just pick one. Doesn't matter, you can fight any of them. Flip it over, just read the text, and just fight it as normal. Again, when you end your turn, you'll take 1 plus 3. This is 4 damage um, at the end of your turn. Also, the Demon Lord, when the Demon Lord roars, you follow the same rules as the normal game as well. So whenever a player defeats the card, all they do is flip over another one, do the effects, and fight it as normal. So defeating these does not give any blessings or experience. These are just like normal cards you fight down here. Okay, so if one player happens to die in the co-op rules, um, what happens is their turn just immediately ends. They can't do anything. And when it comes around back to their turn, they will only have one dice that they can use. They can roll it. Um, well, before they do that, they have to choose a monster first. So they choose a monster that's on the board. They roll their dice, choose it. If they can lay it, they can put a hit. If they can't, they're kind of out of luck. And they just have to pass the turn. They can't modify their dice. They can't use any abilities. All they can do on their turn is just pick a monster, roll a dice, and hope they hit it. Um, if someone happens to have a life potion, they can give them a life potion, give them a health, and they can come back in the game. Okay, so gameplay just keeps going, until everyone defeats all their monsters here. And, the players come up here and they continue fighting, hoping they can make it through the Demon Lord. Okay, so I think I pretty much covered all the rules for the expansion content. I hope I explained it well. Again, the rules are here in the notebook. They're on the Steam page. Be sure to read those. Like I said, I feel like I might have missed, or not missed something, but didn't fully explain every little thing. So yeah, definitely read the notes to make sure to get a better understanding. But I hope the video helped just a little bit. Um, if there's anything wanted to clear up, or if there's some kind of rule conflict or anything like that, just leave a comment here on the YouTube channel, or I'll probably more likely see it on the Steam channel. Um, there are a couple more things I want to do with mod. There's a couple monsters I do have ideas I want to add. I think there's a couple things I just want to clarify with the rules text here, but for the most part, the mod is mostly complete. Just a little bit of fine tuning here and there. Again, anything comes up, just leave a comment and I'll try and get back to you. Okay, thank you.